Hey guys, it's me, 80s more for 4. I got some bad news, man. I got some bad news. So I was doing the predictions video. I just recorded it, all good and all. Just finished recording now. It's going to edit. All of a sudden, for some reason, my PC crashed. I have no idea why, and I had to basically restart the PC. And it's actually really sad. As soon as I finished this video, I had to restart. So if it just waited a few more seconds after, I could have saved the whole thing and I didn't have to redo this. But now I have to redo this. So what I'm gonna do is just give you guys kind of an explanation, kind of a why I made this prediction for what. I know it's not the same, but guys, these kind of things can happen, I guess. Yeah, I do apologize, man. I do apologize. So as I said, we're gonna go through this anyway. Hope you guys don't mind. And so do apologize, man. Do apologize. So, anyways, let's go back to the main event. So let's start with the first game we have here is Leverkusen versus Club Brugge. I think the reason why I picked Leverkusen to win this game was that I just feel as though that Club Brugge, yeah, they'll be happy they're in the round of 16, and I don't think they really care about the top spot that much. And we kind of saw in the game against FC Porto that they were like, okay, we already qualified, so we don't really need to take it seriously. And holy ball, FC Porto destroyed them, annihilated them basically, destroyed them, got revenge. And that's what I feel like the same thing's gonna happen here. Is that Leverkusen, they have so much energy and motivation because they've been so bad at the Bundesliga, but something just tells me they're one of those teams that relishes in the Champions League. Like in the Champions League, they'll always do it. In the league, they may not do it. And I think Leverkusen know themselves that they know that top four is going to be a big battle this season, especially with how good Freiburg and Union Berlin have been in particular. And I feel like the Leverkusen coach, Xabi Alonso, is thinking to himself, okay, why don't we just go all in for the Europa League, and try to win that. Um, and if they can win the Europa League, they can salvage their season and be in Champions League next season, sort of like Eintracht Frankfurt did last season. So that's my rationale and kind of my explanation and why I think Leverkusen will win, and that's the reason why I think they'll win 2-0. The next we got FC Porto versus Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid have just been woeful recently, guys. They've been trash. I'm sorry. They looked really bad. They haven't been keeping clean sheets in a while. They've conceded so many. Excuse me. They've been conceding a lot of goals, and I've just not been confident with Atletico Madrid. I mean, they just lost to Cadiz. Cadiz. This is a team they used to brush over, but you can clearly tell there's some issues with the team. Hermoso, Felipe are so bad at center backs, and then obviously you have Felix that's barely getting any game time, and you have the mistreatment. The only really good players for them this season has probably been Kondogbia and Renan Lodi. Renildo, sorry, that guy's been good. But other than these two players, man, everyone else has been average. Even Griezmann, I don't think he's been that good. And so that's why I think Atletico will, and I also do feel like Atletico won't really care about this game because they'd rather probably finish bottom and go all in for La Liga than go try to be in the Europa League. So that's also another reason why I think Porto will win. So if my predictions come to fruition, that would mean that Porto would top the group with 12 points, and then Club Brugge would come second place in the group with 9 points. And then third in the group would be Leverkusen with, I believe, would be 8, and Atletico Madrid bottom with 4 points, which would be really, really embarrassing. I mean, it's still embarrassing, but that would just further make things worse. Okay? The next one we have is Marseille versus Spurs. Now, this is a very interesting one because Marseille, man, they've been cooking. I think Marseille looked really good. But my issue with Marseille, though, is as good as they were against Sporting were really bad. I mean, really bad. I mean, they had players sent off on both games. And Marseille in the Champions League, they're just not good enough. They're just terrible in the Champions League. But the only reason I got Marseille to get a result here is because they're at home. See, if it was on the road, I give them very little chance. But because this is at home, and this is where Spurs, they're Spursy, right? They've been looking awful recently. I mean, they've been conceding so many goals. I mean, look at what they did against Bournemouth. Then look what they did against Manchester United, and then look what they did against Newcastle. They've been shipping in goals left, right, and center. They haven't kept a clean sheet for some time now, and Conte is just looking bad. And given how his record is in Europe, I wouldn't be surprised to see Marseille win. But because I don't really trust Marseille enough. That's why I think a draw I'm going to go for. I think a draw is my verdict, and that's why I'm going to go with the draw for this game. Okay. Next one we have is Sporting versus Frankfurt. Another interesting one because Frankfurt are going to give it their all. Obviously, they want to be in the Europa League next season, and they know that this is definitely their potential capabilities. And it obviously depends a lot what happens with Marseille because obviously the games will happen at the same time. And I think Frankfurt will give it their all. And I think for Sporting, as long as they don't lose this game, I think they'll be in the next round. So, as I said, for Sporting, man, they're really good at home. But I don't think they'll win this game because they won the away fixture. And I feel like Frankfurt will have more motivation than before. And I feel like Frankfurt have improved since then. But this is a very tricky one because who knows with this one. This one can be very low scoring for what I know. I'm pretty high scoring just because that's what the nature of these teams are. Like, they're very high scoring and very terrible defensively. Like, I don't really trust Frankfurt defensively, and I don't trust Sporting defensively either. Next, we have Barcelona, Victoria Pleasant versus Barcelona. I think we all can agree Barcelona will win this game. Not that it really matters and really changes anything. I just don't really think Victoria Pleasant is really good enough for the Champions League, and I think we kind of saw this in this group in that they just got ripped apart, So I do think Barcelona will win the game 2-0 at their stadium. Next we have is Bayern versus Inter. I do think Bayern will win this game at home. Yes, they have nothing to really play for, but this is at their stadium, and I'm sure they're going to put out a statement. They want to prove everyone that this is Bayern Munich. This is a team you cannot sleep upon, and so yeah. Next we have is Rangers versus Ajax. I'm sorry, Ajax. Rangers have been terrible in the Champions League, absolutely terrible in the Champions League. I don't even want to discuss how bad they have been. They're just a joke, an absolute joke, and so forth. So yeah, enough really said. And I do think Ajax will win the game because their away record is generally good. Next we have is Liverpool versus Napoli. Now this is a very tricky one, guys, because Napoli have looked really good this season. I've been really, really impressed with Napoli. Awesome instant firing goals, Raspadori. Then you have the likes of Lozano. Then you have Kivici. Then you have Simeone, Kim and Jay. This Napoli team is looking fire, guys. And I honestly see Napoli beating Liverpool. Liverpool have been horrendous this season, especially at Anfield. They just lost at home to Leeds, a team that's struggling in the relegation zone, and they lost to Nottingham Forest. I know people are going to tell me, oh, look, they beat Ajax 3-0 at the Johan Cruyff Stadium. But that's the Johan Cruyff Stadium. Ajax are just generally not good at home, And so I don't know how much we can read into that game. And let's be real, guys. Ajax also missed a bunch of chances. Napoli, on the other hand, I feel like they're going to smell vengeance, and I feel like they want to make a statement here. And if they can beat Liverpool and Anfield, what perfect statement it would be. Because that would mean not only would they get 18 points, they would do the double over Liverpool, home and away. Which I don't think any team has done that for quite some time. It's been a long time since a team has probably done the double over then. Okay. Next we have Shakhtar versus Leipzig. I do think this will be a great game. I think Shakhtar, I've been really impressed with them. Modric's been one of their best players. But I just feel as though that Leipzig, yes, both teams I feel like they're naturally very defensively weak, and they ship a lot of goals. And I do think that Leipzig will just have enough to get some. They'll I don't think they'll be as bad as they were in the first match day. And as long as Leipzig don't lose, they're pretty much through to the next round. So a draw would be best case for them. Next we have is Real Madrid versus Celtic. I do think Real Madrid will win this game. Celtic is out of Europe. They have nothing to play for. And I think Real Madrid, especially over the weekend, they draw points to Girona. So I'm sure they want to make a statement here in the Champions League. And plus, they haven't officially topped the group yet. So I'm sure they want to win this game because they don't know what Leipzig's going to do. Because if Leipzig actually beats Shakhtar and Real Madrid actually drops points here, Real Madrid could come second in the group, which would be really, really crazy. But yeah, Real Madrid should top. Okay, then we got Maccabi Haifa versus Benfica. Like I said, guys, this game doesn't really, really matter that much for Benfica. Obviously, they've already qualified, so now they can see they can try to get the top spot over PSG. And it's going to be very, very difficult because they have to basically jump ahead of goal difference. And I think we all know PSG is going to win the goal difference battle because I think the head-to-head is even. So I do think the Benfica will win at Maccabi Haifa. It will be a close game, but I think they'll narrowly win. And same for PSG. I know people are going to tell me, oh, Neymar's not going to be playing for them. But guys, Juventus have been terrible this season. They've not been great this season, and I think we all know this. So, like I said, I do think and Mbappe and Messi, I think, will do enough damage. I don't think it'll be as devastating as it was the first leg, because let's be real, Juventus, PSG absolutely thrashed them in the first half in terms of performance. I do think this will be a lot closer game because it's in Turin, but I still think PSG should win. Then we got Copenhagen versus Dortmund. It's a dead robber. This game is absolutely meaningless. Dortmund should win. Man City versus Sevilla, another game that's not really important. Man City, for all that they know, they could use a second team and they could still get a good result. But I'm going to go with them to win, but it doesn't really matter. Then we have the final two games of the Champions. We got Milan versus Salzburg and Chelsea versus Dinamo Zagreb. I do think as though that Chelsea will yeah, Chelsea have pretty much topped the group, so yeah, there's not really much to play for against Dinamo Zagreb. Obviously, they can, they'll obviously want to try to get revenge for what Dinamo Zagreb did to the first game, but I do think Chelsea will win. And as for Milan Salzburg, this will be a really, really interesting game. As long as Milan don't lose the game, they're pretty much through to the next round. So I do think they'll win this game though, because it is at San Siro. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So that's my Champions League predictions. And yeah, let's go look where I am in the league before we move on to the Europa League. So as you guys can see, in my own league, I am currently 8th. So if we're in the so yeah, 20 people. So yeah, I'm currently mid-table. Currently mid-table, man. Currently mid-table. So very, very disappointing. But there's still a lot of time to recover. I'm only 15 points behind, so don't count myself out yet. Okay, next we have is the Europa League. The Europa League. So, okay, we got Monaco versus Cervena Zvezda. Now, as we guys know, Ferencváros have already topped the group, so Ferencváros have not really much to play for, which is the reason why I think Trabzonspor will win. And then it could be a shootout between Monaco and Cervena Zvezda. Because what could happen is that one of these teams could get the Conference League spot, which is really crazy. And if Trabzonspor do win, that's going to very much happen. And guys, this could be crazy. We could have a scenario where Ferencváros finish top, Trabzonspor finish second, third Monaco, and fourth Cervena Zvezda, which would be insane. Let me just say this right now. So, yeah, I actually see that happening. In fact, I actually see that happening because I just feel as the Trabzonspor, they're good at home. The Turkish team, and Turkish teams generally do well at home. And I pick Monaco to beat Cervena Zvezda because they're at home for the game. And usually French teams are pretty good at home. Then we got Olympiacos versus Nantes and Quarterback versus Freiburg. I'm just going to lump the two together. Freiburg are obviously through to the next round. They've already topped the group, so they have nothing really to play for in this game, which is why I think Quarterback will win this game because of the fact that they'll probably play a second string 11, and I think Quarterback will be able to win because, and that's also another factor is they're also at home. I do think Nantes will get a result against Olympiacos. I'm not sure they'll win, but I do think they'll win just given how Olympiacos have been this season in the Europa League. They've been really, really poor. And so if my predictions come to fruition, we would have Freiburg top the group, Quarterback second, Nantes third, and Olympiacos fourth. Okay, next we have is Group C, Group E actually, I think. Sheriff Armenia. As long as Sheriff win this game, they're going to get that Conference League spot. So, and Armenia, as good as they have been, they're really not that good. So they're going to come bottom. Okay. Then next we have is Real Sociedad Manchester United. This is the big, big game for Manchester United. If Manchester United can win this game by a 2-goal difference, they will top the group. A 2 goals thing. But I do think Manchester United will top the group regardless. But they have to win this game. They have to win this game because they lost that first game at Old Trafford. And they're looking for revenge. And I do think they'll get revenge. And yeah, because it's going to come down to goals scored. And I think they've scored more goals. So even if they win, like, let's say 1-0, I still think they're going to outscore. I think they've scored more goals than Real Sociedad. I'm pretty sure. Let me go ahead and just check this real quick to verify myself because I don't want to be wrong here. So let me go ahead and just double check that real quickly. Oh crap! Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Manchester United. Let me see how many goals they scored. Why is it on Yahoo? Man, the computer restarting has really messed everything up, man. Okay, Manchester United, where? Let me see. Standings. Europa League. Let's just see here. And the Europa League. So, yeah, actually, no. Guys, I didn't even realize this. Sociedad actually have a better goal difference because Sociedad scored 10 and they only conceded 1. So United had to pretty much win this by a 2-goal margin because if they win by 1-0, Sociedad will still top. Oh, dang. I didn't even realize this. Wow. Dang, that is crazy. That is crazy, man. I did not even know this. I'm very surprised. Okay. Anyways, I still think United should top the group. Okay, moving on. We got Feyenoord versus Lazio and Michelin versus Sturm Graz. Obviously, this group is still very wide open, so any of the teams can still qualify. I think Feyenoord and Lazio will play out to a draw just because Lazio are not really good at home, and I think Feyenoord is good at home, which equates to a draw. And I think Michelin will get revenge against Sturm Graz because Michelin is decent at home. So if my predictions come to fruition, that would mean that Lazio would top the group with 9 points. And I think second in the group would be, I believe it would be Michelin. No, sorry. I think it would be Feyenoord because they have more goals scored, I think. And then third will be Michelin, and I think fourth will be Sturm Graz. Okay, so I think those are my predictions there for that. And then next we have is Braga versus Malmo and Union St. Gallas versus Union Berlin. Obviously, St. Gallas have already topped the group, so they have nothing to really play for. And Braga versus Malmo. Malmo is already eliminated, so it's pretty much a shootout between the second spot between Braga and Union Berlin. And I do think Braga will advance just because of the fact that they're playing the home game against Malmo, has nothing to really play for. And even though Union Berlin are playing against a team that has nothing to really play for, it is on the road. And I just don't see Union Berlin just doing it. So that would mean Braga would advance second place in the group, and Union Berlin would come third, and obviously Malmo would come last. Then we got the next group is your Betis versus HJK, Roma versus Ludogorets. Betis have already topped the group, so it'll be around 16. HJK, I believe they will come last. Yeah, they're going to come last. And now it's going to basically be between a game between Roma and Ludogorets for that second place spot. And I do think Roma will win this game because they're at home. So I do think they'll win 3-1. Okay. Then we got Rennes versus AEK Larnaca and Dinamo Kiev versus Fenerbahce. Rennes and Fenerbahce have already qualified. AEK Larnaca has pretty much got that third place, and Dinamo Kiev will finish last. It's going to come down to who's going to get that top spot. And I do think if both teams win, I think Fenerbahce do have the better goal difference, which is why I do think Fenerbahce will top the group because of the fact they have better goal difference. Okay. So, yeah, unless Rennes wins by like a 3-0 margin, I think. Yeah, I think Rennes can top, but it's going to come down to that thing. Because head-to-head, I believe, is even 5-5 on aggregate, I think. The next wave is the final group here is Bodo Glimt versus PSV, Arsenal, Zurich. Arsenal have Zurich is already blast. They're not gonna get European football. Bodo Glimt will get Conference League, and now it's gonna come down to basically Arsenal, PSV for the top spot. And I do feel as though the Arsenal would top the group just because they're playing against Zurich that are nothing to really play for, whereas PSV have the away game at Bodo Glimt, and we know how difficult it is to play Bodo at their stadium. So, which is why I went for a draw, and I do think Arsenal will beat Zurich. So that is my Europa League predictions, guys. Europa League predictions. So I liked how I kind of like lumped the two together, group matches together to give you guys permutations, everything like that. So hope you guys do not mind. Anyways, let me look at the league standings where I am at. So before we move on, so as you guys can see, I am currently out of 8. I'm currently second. So still fighting for that title. 10 points behind Rubik's. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Conference League. Conference League, guys. So, okay. Conference League. Here we go. Predictions. So, Matchday 6. Okay, so we got Istanbul, Başakşehir, and RFS Fiorentina. Obviously, Istanbul and Fiorentina have already both advanced. They're both going to go to the knockout stage. It's now going to be determined which team is going to get that top spot. And I do think Istanbul was going to get the top spot because of the fact that I do believe they'll beat Hearts at home. And Fiorentina, they're going to be playing against RFS. So Istanbul will have the better head-to-head against Fiorentina. Then we got AZ Alkmaar versus Dnipro 1. Now, AZ Alkmaar, they have to win this game because they're on 10 points. Sorry. They're on... AZ's on 12 points, right? Hold on, let me see. AZ Alkmaar. So AZ Alkmaar is actually on 12 points. So yeah, if Dnipro actually wins this game, then Dnipro goes above them in the table. But I do think AZ will win this game. and I think they'll win 2-1. And then Apollon versus Vaduz is pretty much a dead rubber. I think Apollon will win just because it's at home. Then we got Punic versus Basel and Zalgiris versus Slovenia and Bratislava. Basel have to win this game. Basel is currently second in the group. They need to win this game. And because I believe Slovenia and Bratislava have the better head-to-head. And if Basel do win, and Slovenia and Bratislava drops points, which I think they will because on the road, Basel will top the group and Slovenia and Bratislava gets that second place spot. But if both teams win, then Slovenia and Bratislava get the top spot. So Basel, man, have to win. No excuses. I don't think a draw will be enough. A draw will not be enough. They have to win. Okay, whereas Slovenia and Bratislava can't afford a draw if Basel drops points. Everyone, guys, the games are going to take place at the same time. They got Ghent versus Mold. This is pretty much a straight out for that second place spot. I do think Mold will get that draw, which should be enough for them to advance on the second place spot. Again, I've been really disappointed this season at home. Again, I've been really disappointed this season in general, so I don't think Ghent will win. And George Godon versus Shamrock Rovers is a dead rubber because George Godon's already topped the group. So, yeah. Then we got Sierra Cluj and Balkany and Slavia Prague Sivaspor. Now, this group is very wide open. Any of the 4 teams can advance. I think Sierra Cluj will beat Balkany at home because it's at home. And I think Slavia and Sivaspor will play to a draw. So, if my predictions come to fruition, it would mean that Sivaspor will top the group with 11 points. Balkany will come last with 5 points. And then it would come down to a second place spot, and which I think CFR Cluj will actually end up getting that second place spot because of the fact that they win, in my opinion, and Slavia Prague would finish third. So CFR Cluj would advance, in my opinion. The next we have is Caen versus Nice and Partizan versus Slovako. I do think, though, that Caen will win this game because I don't really trust French teams on the road like that. I think French teams on the road are very disappointing, generally speaking. And that's why I do think they'll lose. And I think Partizan will beat Slovako because Slovako is already eliminated. So if my predictions come to fruition, that would mean that I believe it would mean that Caen would top the group, I think. Let me see how many points they're on. Yeah, they're on 10. No, sorry. Partizan would actually top the group because they're on 8 points. So Partizan with 11. Caen would come second, and then Nice would come third. So it's crazy. One of these 3 teams is going to be eliminated. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting. So, dang. Okay, then next we got Silkeborg versus Anderlecht and FCSB versus West Ham. I'll just go over the FCSB West Ham real quick. West Ham already topped the group. FCSB have nothing to really play for. So now for Silkeborg versus Anderlecht. Anderlecht have to get a draw in this game. If Anderlecht manages to get a positive result on the road against Silkeborg, which I think they should, then Anderlecht will get that second place spot. Otherwise, Silkeborg will get that second place spot if they win this game. So Silkeborg have to win this game to get that second place. And yeah, draw. Actually, Silkeborg. Oh, wait, no. I'm an idiot, guys. An absolute idiot. So a draw would actually favor Silkeborg. So Anderlecht actually have to win this game. I think Anderlecht will actually tie this game because it's on the road. And I think Silkeborg is decent at home. So Anderlecht have to win, basically. They have to win. So a draw will not be enough. A draw will not be enough. Because I forgot that Silkeborg will get a point. So really stupid on my part. But thankfully I noticed. Okay. Then we got HB Beersheba versus Austria Wien. HB Beersheba, they're fighting for the second place spot. Austria Wien are eliminated, can't really get anything. And Villarreal already topped the group. So I think HB Beersheba will get a second place spot because they have an easier task at home. Whereas Lech Poznan, they have a tougher task because they have to get a draw, which I don't know if they can get a draw against a Villarreal B team. So that's going to be my predictions for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. The second time recording actually came out to be 3 minutes less than my original, which is probably be better. So I think we're going to end there at that. So let me go and check my league standings real quick, and then we'll head out of there. So as you guys can see, I'm third in my league. How many people are playing? Only 5 people are playing, so very, very disappointed. Hopefully we can get more of you guys to play the conference league. So make sure you guys comment down your thoughts and comments below. Guys, to join the league, the links will be in the description below. Remember, guys, if you made it all the way this far, comment down below. What is your big upset you have this week? Remember, guys, subscribe to the channel, like this video, enjoy. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. And watch my next video, guys, where I do my... make sure you guys stay tuned for my Matchday 6 streams Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. So subscribe to get notified. And you guys can check out Matchday for predictions if you guys want. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.